Kaiju, turtles, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews.
During the Showa era, kaiju and tokusatsu fans, hopefully I said that correctly, let me know in the comments, were taken aback by the concept of a man in a suit. They were taken aback by the idea that we could have this hulking creature destroying a city. And using camera trickery, we were able to capture it so wonderfully. Folks, what if I told you that once the man stepped out of the monster suit, once the straps came off and the monster feet fell, and he went back to his chair to relax, in reality, the monster was in him all along. Hey there, collectors, it's going to be Steven here today with a fun review, and we're going to be kicking off a whole host of videos for this weekend with something really cool. This is from what I'm able to see by Black Seed Toys Cross Tokusatsu Vinyl. I'm going to pronounce all the letters in that word. We have Gojiji. Yeah, so the whole concept here is going to be the monster in a man suit, and I think this is fantastic. We have the old Haruo Nakajima vinyl. We all know it, where he's wearing the Godzilla feet, and now we sort of have a flip on that one. And this, it's $135 at retail, and orders have since closed. So, it's going to be pretty pricey. But here, let me tell you this, folks. I've had a chance to handle a lot of designer vinyl. I think this may be the best of the bunch. What am I talking about? Let's take a look to see whether or not it's going to be worth adding in your collection. It's going to be a resounding yes, but I love these types of videos because I can take you along on the journey. All right, so in terms of sculpt and paint, I mean, honestly, this is going to be a conceptual item. So for sculpt, I can't really say that there's anything that's bad here. Obviously, we have Gojiji here, which is not going to be Godzilla, and the scales and the scutes and everything looks great. I do have to say that for the dorsal plates, they do look rather rigid, and I actually do quite like this design. It's executed real nicely, and it looks kind of more so like metal than something that's going to be of bone structure, which is cool. We have minimal seam lines, which I absolutely love, because even though I'm fine with having seams where it is appropriate and relatively well hidden, I do know that for some folks, they absolutely hate seams. So if you're not a fan of those, then congratulations. We basically only have to deal with something at the tail and at the points of assembly, like the articulation points at the shoulders. Okay, now here Gojiji is going to be looking off to the side. We have some beads of sweat coming down. Gojiji is going to be holding a handkerchief to wipe off that sweat. Cool. Now the human suit, this is probably my favorite part because it is so well executed. Obviously something like this, if we're going to have something that's bending over, it's going to be top heavy, right? Well, the hands are actually touching the ground, so quadruped in a way. That's pretty cool. It's pretty ingenious. Now, where we're going to have a fold at the body for the human suit, we do have folds. Pretty cool. Didn't even think that something like that would be included here. Rather nice. And what's even better than that is if you peek inside of the human suit, can't believe I'm actually using those words, it's actually hollow, as if this could fit over Gojiji. Really awesome. You don't see that sort of detail. I love it. Paint application, aside from maybe issues from different units with masking and maybe a paint drip here and there, for mine in particular, it's basically flawless. I'm only seeing stuff that I would not otherwise be able to see if I was not using macro photography, which is a huge compliment, considering that these are made on a very small production run and not a lot are made, which means quality control oftentimes gets cut. That's just the name of the game. Overall, in terms of sculpt and paint, Gojiji looks fantastic. Articulation. We'll go ahead and we'll talk about that, even though this is not really the point of the item here. So we do have basic swivels at the shoulders for both arms. I will say be careful of swiveling around the arm of Gojiji that is dropped down, just for the sole purpose of paint rub. For the legs here, the one leg on the left basically moves without issue. The one on the right seems like it wants to sort of continuously spin, almost as if the joint is stuck and it wants to shear off. So I'm being very careful with that one. We don't really need anything else. Size comparison, and this is actually one of the faults that I had here. So if you're not familiar, Black Seed Toys is really well known in the kaiju community for doing the Nozilla stuff, which I actually at first glance thought that this may have been. And I thought maybe the same size. No, this is definitely going to be about the 8 to 10 inch mark. If you collect those sorts of stylized vinyls, this one will blend in just fine. I was hoping to have this to throw up on a Showa display in the 6-inch scale, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case, but that is absolutely not going to detract from getting this. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. The only downside is that for some reason I was under the impression there would be some form of a fancy display base that would come with this figure, because in the promotional shots it does show this figure up on a soundstage and there are lights and so forth. I wasn't expecting to get the whole kit and caboodle, but just something there for the figure to stand on. So unfortunately that didn't come to fruition, but with the actual product that I got in hand and looking at it much closer, I'm able to clearly see where the price went, where my money went. And I have to say that I am pleased. So if you think that this is fun, unfortunately aftermarket price for these sorts of things, they tend to go up. I saw that one actually sold for about $185, which is a shame, but if you do buy it, you're going to get something that's really cool. So with that being said, the review's pretty much over, but definitely stick around, because this whole weekend, Thursday to Sunday, we're going to have a ton of videos that are going to be uploaded, pretty much going to tickle any kaiju fans' fancy. If you're looking at vinyls, if you're looking at stylized vinyls, designer vinyls, D4Reals, movie monster series, whatever you want, I probably am going to upload something for you. With that being said, here's the outro. Thanks for watching.
Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.